Hey, today's the big day. I'm joining you on your tailored journey into the world of Bitcoin. And I'm not kidding. We are really embarking on a quest for your own Bitcoin rabbit hole. You'll find it soon enough, and chances are that it will bring you much joy, hope, and a genuine sense of freedom. So if you're here, I guess you already played the Bitcoin Basics video. If not, then try to take 20 minutes to watch it. It's a good introduction. When it comes to organizing a trek, a journey, you definitely want a good map to guide your steps, right? So my first objective today is to give you this map, describe it to you and explain to you how to use it. And you'll see it's a cool map that you'll find useful even beyond Bitcoin. We will then define your own personal learning path. And by this I mean that we're going to trace a Bitcoin learning path that suits you, a path that will see you progress from one stimulating discovery to the next. So objective number 2, design a learning path tailored to your personality and knowledge. And finally, to wrap up this session as a proper mountain guide, I will recommend you a few steps and milestones, mere suggestions. Ready? Well, let's go. I think you've heard it time and time again. Bitcoin is a radically new and complex subject, somewhat difficult to grasp because it requires an interdisciplinary lens. And it touches on so many topics that all the relevant content that keeps accumulating hardly fit in the library. People find it fascinating, but truly it can be destabilizing initially. So think of the map I'm about to give you as an analytical framework to organize and facilitate access to this growing content. This map unravels much of the complexity surrounding Bitcoin and kind of lifts the fog for everyone to appreciate the diversity of the territory. So what does this map look like? Well, it consists of 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants to navigate the 4 essential dimensions of Bitcoin and 3 levels to differentiate learning contents by their difficulty: beginner, intermediate, advanced. This map is precisely the tool we need to embark on the discovery of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the technology for sure, but also Bitcoin, the economic, social, and cultural phenomenon. An orientation tool shedding light upon the widespread influence of Bitcoin in the world. Let me explain quickly. The 2 upper quadrants describe individual realities, that is, what I do, what I think, what I feel, how I'm experiencing it, And the lower quadrants are complementary. They address collective realities, society, and the systems that compose it, as well as the culture we share. Top quadrants, individual, bottom, collective, right? Now, the quadrants on the right side described Bitcoin and its influence in concrete and measurable terms. We're talking about tangible stuff here. In the upper right quadrants, we discover how Bitcoin transforms our individual behaviors, a new means of payment, saving instruments. Do you want to heat your home or your swimming pool whilst mining Bitcoin? Do you want to transact on Lightning, explore the mempool, or just zap some sats? Here we discover the practical side of things at an individual level. All these new behaviors related to money, all these Bitcoin things that make it possible for 8 billion people to become their own bank. It's happening here in the top right quadrant. In the bottom right quadrant, we still focus on super concrete, tangible and measurable realities, but this time we deal with systemic realities rather than individual ones. So this covers Bitcoin as a network and protocol, and all the changes, all the disruptions it causes in society. Expect to be amazed at the unbelievable opportunity that Bitcoin represents for the energy sector and the environment, this quadrant will also reveal the virtuous systemic influence of Bitcoin on many other sectors of the economy: agriculture, food, health, education, commerce, you name it. This is the vast and exciting territory we explore in the lower right quadrant. In a nutshell, think of an iceberg and realize that the right side of the map corresponds to the visible part of the iceberg, whilst the left side is the submerged, the deep, the internal, almost hidden, yet essential part of the iceberg. Indeed, on the left side of the map, the quadrant reveals how the adoption of Bitcoin transforms us internally. At the top, we explore these inner realities at an individual level. That's the Fall in the Bitcoin rabbit hole, this crash course that expands our understanding of money and updates our worldview. This learning that brings us to the reassuring realization that with a sound money, we are no longer trapped in the crazy hamster wheel. We can step back and reassess our priorities. We can indeed experience greater sovereignty, capable of projecting ourselves further in the future, giving more meaning to our lives. This top left quadrant is about the inner experience of a new language of value. In the bottom left quadrant, we dive in the depths of the intersubjective. That is, we examine the effect of Bitcoin on our culture and common values. And in this fourth quadrant, we discover how fiat money perverts our culture and distorts the world. I know it may sound weird, but the truth is that we've come to understand that the rise of Bitcoin inaugurates a true cultural renaissance. A new renaissance built on a consolidated foundation of classical values, invigorated by an incorruptible and absolutely unstoppable technology. This is the vast extent of the territory. We are talking about a major technological revolution, a breakthrough in computer science, which generates new behaviors and disrupts society, both in its visible part, all its tangible systems, and in its invisible part, all the norms and values, all the representations and motivations that structure it and drive us individually and collectively. And you know, disrupting the world in all these dimensions is precisely the hallmark of all these technologies capable of triggering paradigm shifts in human history. We've seen this already with the printing press, with the electricity, with the automobiles and the internet. And now this major technology upgrade is tackling money. Money, the foundational layer of civilization. It's so stunning, it's hard to realize, and it's happening at an accelerated pace. First objective completed. I've shown you the map and how it works. A little bit of practice now. Let's move on to your tailored journey, this path that will lead you to your own rabbit hole. And a quick reminder first, you don't need to be an engineer, a cryptographer, a historian, or an economist to get started with Bitcoin. It's open to everyone. Yet you want to keep in mind that A, it's going to take time, and B, there's no rush. There's no rush because you will find time for this exciting learning. We're going to define together a journey that suits you and that you will find super stimulating. We will draw from the map a set of themes to explore, and we'll put together a sequence of contents, videos, text, tutorials, podcasts, etc., reflecting who you are, your level of understanding, your specific interest, etc. Now, there's a chance that you will want to explore first topics that you're already familiar with. Maybe, on the contrary, you'll want to dive into dimensions largely unknown to you. And remember, you remain in control all the time. Just a quick note, I'm recording this video in the fall of 2023, and at this stage I'm only going to provide you with general recommendations. I'm actually working on the integration of an AI assistant who will design your tailored learning path and who will then accompany you as a guide, as a coach. There'll be a short anonymous questionnaire which will assess your knowledge and skills, your interest, and your personality profile. The result will be a sequence of activities optimized for stimulating and accelerated learning. I'll keep you updated on our progress on the website page, and I'll post a video tutorial as soon as the tool is operational. Until then, I encourage you to define your path based on the following recommendations. First, take a quick tour of the map. Check the themes covered in each quadrant, get a first glimpse of the type of contents that you will find. So you can access the quadrants by clicking on the picture here or right from the top menu under the Learning Path tab. For instance, if you visit the upper right quadrant, here, how I'm using Bitcoin, you'll see that you can explore how Bitcoin changes your habits related to money, for instance, your transactions, your savings, your investments, and your loan, and many other aspects of your life. As you click here on Become Your Own Bank, a drop-down menu appears which lists a series of topics, and if you choose Buy BTC or Use a Wallet, you'll gain access to selected contents properly sorted by key concept. For instance, you'll want to get an overview first, and you'll find a suggestion of articles and videos for beginner and intermediate levels. Likewise, if you want to learn about wallets, here is a small collection of carefully selected resources, videos, tutorial, websites, podcasts that will put you on the right track. So first, I really suggest you take this little tour, you see, and do take a look at the other quadrants, such as the bottom right quadrant here, entitled How Bitcoin Changes Our Society. Check the main themes, explore the underlying topics, and with this first overview, you'll start forming an idea of what attracts you and what you find less interesting. Also, visit the left side of the map to explore the submerged part of the iceberg. You remember, there, if we visit the upper left quadrant, we can navigate all sorts of contents documenting how I'm improving within. That is how Bitcoin is influencing me inside. My worldview, my emotions. Finally, to complete this little tour, let's dive into the lower left quadrant, where we can explore culture-related contents and address the question, what is this Bitcoiners culture? What value do they hold? And how on earth does Bitcoin relate to beauty, morality, or justice? You see, you spend 5 minutes per quadrant, that's 20 minutes in total, and already you'll have a sense of what stimulates your curiosity, the topics that resonate with you, these facets of Bitcoin that you might be tempted to explore first. So as we build these AI assistants, here are my recommendations. First, take this quick tour and draw a list of your topics of interest. Make sure you cover all 4 quadrants. Sure, you'll probably have 1 or 2 favorite quadrants, but make sure you don't overlook any of these 4 fundamental dimensions. Second, aim to acquire practical knowledge. Accumulating purely theoretical knowledge is a mistake. You want to practice Bitcoin, play with it a little bit. It needs to become real to you. Thrills guaranteed with no risk. You just buy a few dollars worth of Bitcoin, send and receive sats, generate your seed phrase, delete it, restore your wallet, transact on chain, see your transaction integrating into the Bitcoin blockchain for eternity, It's all fun, really, and practicing is absolutely necessary. Regarding levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced, you'll quickly find out where you stand. But in all cases, do not hesitate to delve deeper into whatever subject fascinates you. To conclude, I want to share with you a generic learning path, and you'll decide whether it suits you or not. What truly matters is to make sure that the next few hours of your journey are as exciting and stimulating as possible. So it's one sequence amongst others, and yes, it's true, it's well balanced, it covers all 4 quadrants, whilst delving into topics already covered during the First Steps Core course. So here is the sequence. Start by asking yourself, what is money? And to answer it, go to the bottom right quadrant under the theme Become Aware of the Overall Context. Select the subject Monetary Systems, and then look into the 2 concepts. Bitcoin is part of the history and evolution of money, and failures of our money and superiority of Bitcoin. Then you want to study level 1 contents first and delve deeper if you like it. Then in the same quadrant, you can refine the understanding of Bitcoin that you've acquired in the Bitcoin Basics session. So you can learn more about Bitcoin the software, Bitcoin the network, and the Bitcoin stakeholders. Next, without further delay, practice. Just try and practice. Head to the top right quadrant under the theme Become Your Own Bank, and then just follow the best tutorials of the moment, experiment, just play. Now, these experiments are quite likely to awaken a range of emotions you need to examine, especially if you plan to buy larger amounts of Bitcoin. Now, how to ride the emotional roller coaster of Bitcoin's volatility and cyclical price, how to become a serene Bitcoin hodler. Well, that's the type of learning that you can do in the top right quadrant under the theme Emotional Maturation. Finally, and to conclude, explore the bottom left quadrant, and under the themes Bitcoiners Culture, check the topic Fiat Cultural Asphyxia to learn how our fiat monetary systems breeds anger, nihilism, and despair. So you see, this is a generic sequence I'm suggesting, and it's a good start amongst many other options, but in your case, you may want to prioritize Bitcoin and the environment, or Bitcoin, rights and freedom, or perhaps Bitcoin and social inclusion, or maybe morals and Bitcoiners' values, etc. I mean, only you know what's good for you. We've now completed this session. Here you are, fully prepared to embark on your tailored learning path, equipped with this map that truly makes the world of Bitcoin a far less intimidating territory. Now, you can do it. You just venture into the landscapes you fancy, you wander freely in this large library. Be confident that amongst the thousands ways to approach Bitcoin, there is now one super exciting learning path that perfectly matches who you are. I wish you a wonderful journey. Take your time, progress at your own pace, make the most of the unique learning momentum Bitcoin has to offer. Take care. Ciao.